G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers, and I hope you enjoy the content of my channel. If you missed part 8 of my Webster engine build, there's a link up there now. You can go watch that first, come back and watch this one. Now those tips I was waiting for the U-drill are here. So first up this week we'll get on with making that fuel tank. Really hopeful that I'll get it all finished this week. So let's head over to the lathe, over there, and get on with that tank. Alrighty, so the first thing I'm going to have to do is machine this tube. I just want to clean the outside up. It measures 44.4 millimeters, so if I can just take no more than 0.4 off it, it'll be giving exactly 44. So I'm going to do it like this and hope it doesn't machine a taper. Not that it really matters, because I've got to make 2 caps, so I'll just make caps to fit whatever it ends up at. Anyway, so let's make a couple of passes. It's got to be 65 millimeters long. Let's take a 0.2 cut and then see what we get. An awesome looking finish. Machine all the way around, yes it is. That's bigger that end than this end, which is unusual. That's 43.97 there and 44.22 there. But anyway, I don't think I will take another pass up that. I might just leave it at that. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. I've got to machine two end caps, so we'll just machine them up until they fit the bloody ends. Alrighty, I'm not going to try and part this off in here. So I went past a bit. I'll go 60. I'll mark that 65, so I can go over the saw and cut it off. Sort of a dag in there, like it's had something dragging on it, but just try and polish it out a bit. Don't know what's been up in there. Alright, I'll get that out of there. I'm going to cut off on the saw and then I'll actually I might polish it up. Even though it looks nice, it feels rough. Feels smooth, but it doesn't look nice. Try a bit of 1000 grit sandpaper and some WD-40. That brought it up a bit nicer. Oh, I'll go and cut it off. Right, just got a bit of masking tape wrapped around that. We'll clean this end up with a bit of a chamfer and that'll be the body done. Alrighty, so that's that done. It's a bloody dirty looking mark on it. Doesn't matter, you won't see it, it'll get covered up by the end cap. Alrighty, looks like my masking tape did the job. Stop it getting mangled up. I'll have a look. There's no marks in there. Laughing. Righty, so we'll get that solid bar in there. I might have to chop it down too because it's pretty long. Then again, maybe not. It's not as long as that other bit. Let's get rid of this burr off here. It's a much shorter piece than that bloody tube. What's that look like? Shocking. Should make myself up one of those little tools with the bearing on it, so you just sort of roll it over against it and true it up as best you can. Oh yeah, bit of waste time putting this on there, but as long as we get as close as I can get it. What's that? 45. I think that's about as good as we're going to get it. Face it off. Alright, that's got it all. Alright, so let's clean that up. I'm not going to take any more off that. Now, give me a sec, I'll come back and go and get that U-drill that's inside. Alrighty, now there it is there. I only bought a 16mm one. I was tempted to go with a 20mm, and I thought, well, you know, these two washing machine motors, even though they've got torque compensation, they may not handle it too well. Anyway, I'm using the original ER32 collar chuck that I had in the mill, which is really long. About this friggin' long, and it's sticking out a long way out of the tailstock. If this works okay in here, what I'm going to have to do is make a holder for a Morse, 2 Morse taper holder to hold this and go straight into the tailstock with it. Anyway, I'm going to see how this goes. This probably work better in the mill, this thing, than in here. But anyway, I'll give it a go. I actually used a U-drill in the factory. We had an ISCAR drill with replaceable tips where it just had a funny little T-shape handle. You pop the tip and it sat it on the top and then twist it and locked it in place, and they were brilliant because you could just interchange tips, go bigger than the shank and have different sorts. You didn't have to keep buying all these different drills, and you could also get a collar so that once you drilled the hole it would chamfer the end of it for you. They were bloody awesome. Anyway, I don't know what kind of speed to run this at actually. We'll find out in a second. Alrighty, I want to go in about 4mm, so I better do something about marking this back here. It occurred to me I didn't tighten that up, and he did it up by hand. Only about 3. Like I thought, it didn't work all that well in there. But anyway, that'll get me started. It's kind of giving me what I want, which is a bit of a flattish hole in there to work with, rather than a big tapered hole from a drill. Alrighty, so I'll get this. I'll move this camera around the other end so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll get in there and bore it out. Build up on the end of that tip already. Jesus, look at it. Reckon bird nest shit's going to be a problem again. I don't worry about it other than I can't see what I'm bloody doing. I was looking to go in about 4mm, that's 4.1 in there now. So now we've got to get it to the right diameter. Oh shit, that's already too big. I can't believe that. Jeez, I thought I had a lot less wall to play with there. Oh no, look at there. No, it's only 32, is it? 42. Oh, 44. Idiot. So there's another, not quite 2mm come out of there. Alrighty, fresh battery. I didn't realise I was getting that close to having the battery go flat. Righto, so that's not the first one you were just watching, that's the second one. I overshot the bloody thing. So I just parted the machine the end off and started again. What I did discover was that if I shoved the spotting drill up in there a bit first, that U-drill worked a whole lot better. But anyway, I've gone smart this time, down shot for the smaller of the two ends, so that if I stuffed it up I could just go to the other end. But this is now just a couple of hundredths difference, so that should be a nice press fit in there. So I'm just going to put the tiniest of chamfer on there and there. That's horrible. Alrighty, so I'm not going to make you sit through another one of those. To be honest with you, I don't know that I want to try and part that off. I had a centre in there, I'd put the live centre up in there and try and hold it while I parted it off, but I just don't want to do that. So I think I'll take it over the saw and cut it off in the saw and then face it off, then come back, put it back in here and true it up and make another one. Alrighty, so one down, one to go. I think I'll make, I only went in 3.5mm this when I redid this, but I think I'll and then I made it 6mm, so it's only 2.5mm thick through here. But I think for this end, which is going to have the fittings and everything, I might make it a bit thicker, so there's a bit more thread in there for the fittings that have to screw into it. Alrighty, so that's that part of it done. Hopefully that'll seal up, won't bloody leak, because petrol is one of those things, if you want to find out if something leaks, put petrol in it, you'll soon find out whether it leaks or not. Or gasoline. depends what you want to call it. Alrighty, so that's it for me for today. It's just about beer o'clock-ish. I've still got a nice coffee there to drink yet, so I'll go and drink that and then I'll have a beer. Alrighty, so there's both end caps done. In this bit here I'm going to unashamedly copy what Matty from Matty's workshop did to mount his tank. This ring here will have a couple more parts off the bottom of it, which I'm not going to bother the video. And they'll be bolted to there, and there'll be a bolt goes up through this one to just pinch that one, hold it in place. I actually overshot that one just a little bit because this thing's tapered. I was just a little over, probably 100th or so, but anyway, that'll be okay. Righto, so now this has to have 2 holes drilled and tapped in it, and there has to be a hole drilled and tapped up in here for the filler, but I'm not going to video any of that stuff because I think you've seen enough of that crap in this this particular part. I ducked out early this morning and had a hell of a time tracking down a set of points for a motorbike, because they all just kept laughing at me going, oh, old, no have any more old. In fact, the place I got these from, they spent half an hour looking for it and found it in a dusty old box. That's how much they sell of these. But anyway, so I think I can make this set work better than the other set's going to. I hope. Not a lot of room there, but I'll make them fit. Anyone like to hazard a guess why there's 4 holes in there instead of only 2? Before I tell you? No, it's because I forgot to add the thickness of the wall thickness of the tube. Drilled those 2 and tapped them, and then thought, oh, you idiot. It doesn't matter, I'll get a couple, I might cut little plugs, or I might get in the bolts up, see if they've got any M5, because that's what they are, M5 hex head bolts, and just Loctite a couple of them in there. Alrighty, quick update. So there's the base for it, made up now. Now, like I said, I'll do this in my stuff up here. You can see in there, or I just didn't allow for the bloody thickness of the wall thickness of this. It's pretty stupid of me, but anyway. Now this ring, it just gets, that's quite loose until I do that up. And that locks it in place, but I'll Loctite that when I do it up in the end. I'll even dribble a bit of super glue just down the bottom down here, just to try and hold it in place a little more too. Alright, so all I have to do with this now is drill a hole in here for the filler and the breather. There's a breather. The filler's also a breather. And then make up the fittings to go in these 2 and do something about blocking them off. Alright, so while you guys weren't looking, I knocked up this bit. It's well, the outlet for the vapours out of the tank. And it's also what acts as a throttle. So now we've got a 2mm slot in there. It's 7mm long, and it said 7mm long. Alrighty, let's do it. Alrighty, and this bit screws up over it. Might have to run the dyno over that again. No, that's alright. So that allows you to bleed air into with it, and by screwing it out, should increase the revs. Alright, got to get that out of there. I also machined 2 little flats on it so I can nip it up. I've got a machine, cut it off, and machine a M5 thread on the back of it here. Alrighty, so nearly there with this bloody fuel tank. So there's that fitting in there. Did I show you that in the last one? I don't think I did. So that's the filler and the just the breather. Now this bit here, I bought this little copper wash assortment a few weeks ago. It's bloody cheap as chips it was. It's coming very handy. I ended up having to put 2. They show in the drawing a second fitting that gets, you know, or they say soldered on because they use the copper for this, but getting copper pipe this size here is just, you know, nigh impossible. And I think there's enough thread in there to hold that. A couple of copper washers on it, hopefully it'll stop it leaking. And this bit now screws into here, copper washer on it. So it's just about flush, not quite like that. 7mm, which is an odd body size, but I use a bit of 8mm round, so I just took a half-mil cut off each side of that to give me 7mm across those flats, and that becomes the throttle there like that, so it sucks a bit of air in through there. So now, I'm not going to make anything for these because while I was having some lunch before I got on a Lazada and I tracked down some little M5 brass hex-headed bolts. I come in a pack of 8 for, you know, $2.50 or something, so I grabbed a packet, stuff around making them. So I'll just use them to plug these 3 holes up with a copper washer underneath it. So that's pretty much that done now. Now, I have been in, there is a jig that you can get. I've got to pin this flywheel, and there's a jig apparently out there somewhere on the internet to line all this out, because this has to be 15 degrees before bottom dead center when this is pinned, with the exhaust valve just about to open about there. So that all gets, there's a jig that allows you to clamp everything in place while you drill it and pin it. But I can't find it. I mean, damn, I've looked all over the internet and I can't find the bloody thing. So I've sent Matty from Matty's workshop an email asking if he's still got plans for it, because he used it. And if he hasn't, if he can remember where he found the bloody thing. Otherwise I've got to come up with some other way of clamping all this in place while I drill and pin this flywheel. Now outside of that, all about I've got to do then is drill and tap a hole on the bottom there. Just got an M6 thread in there to bolt this on with. This way. Push all this together. Fit up those points and the condenser and the ignition coil. And that'll be just about me then for this thing. Hopefully we'll be able to get it started and hear it run. You know, it seems at times I just can't seem to take a trick. Stuffed around this morning, figured out where I could fit these up, had to plug up. There were 2 holes already drilled and tapped in here. Had to machine up a little aluminium threaded plug and put in one of them, because that bolt's right beside where it was. So got it all sorted out, drilled the holes, got it all worked out, only to find out that this has been sitting around for so long it has seized up. It literally wouldn't move. I finally got it to move a little bit, but it most certainly will not move the way it needs to. Oh, my chance, I think that was the only set they had of these things. These Daichi contact set, Hokada DM39. I might have a look online, see if I can find that part number somewhere. Because I did search online, I couldn't find anything. But I'll have another look, because these are useless the way they are. Just making useless. Tight. Anyway, still just trying to figure out where the hell I can put this coil. If I didn't have this bit sticking out here, it wouldn't be, I could get it down this area here, but with this thing whirring around there, mounting it over here is a bit of an issue, I think. I had a look at using this and trying to like mill a bit out of it so that I could, you know, bolt it on top of here, because there's only one terminal on this, so it's got to be earth through there, I'd say. The other good news is the end. Oh, I also machined the end of that down so that I can get the cap on there, so that will fit up on there now. Still need, I can need to cut a bit more off it, I think. But this is an amazingly long bloody lead, but it only screws on. So I can shorten that up. That just screws on the end there, like that. I was thinking originally it may have been moulded in it, but it's not. So I can shorten that up. But anyway, so I'll have to see if I can find another set of these from somewhere. But bloody still work. And I'll sort it out. Alright, quick update. Went back down to where I bought that other set of points from, and she sort of looked at me and went, "Oh, you for long back again." And so I just said, "Look, these are bloody no good. Have you got another set?" And she sort of quick look through the rack that she found the other set in, and then pulled out a dirty big box, dropped it in front of me and said, "Here, look for yourself," sort of thing, you know. And there must have been 50 sets of this points in it. Now these are different from the other ones, and I wish she'd presented me with them in the first place, because they were easier to fit up because they're a little bit smaller. But this bit of material's starting to look like freaking Swiss cheese. There's that many holes drilled and tapped in it now. So you can see that's the one that plugged up, and I want to drill beside it. Anyway, I heard from Matty this afternoon as well, and he sent me the plans for that jig to do the timing, but unfortunately I don't have a piece of material to make that jig up out of, so I've had to order some. So when that gets here, I will make up that jig and we'll pin this damn thing, and then there's not much stopping us from trying to start it, because I've got them all wired up now. And while I'm waiting for the material, I'll try and figure out what I'm going to do with this coil. Alrighty, quick update. Those little brass bolts came in, so I've fitted a couple of them up. This bit of plate I ordered to make that jig up for here has just arrived. So all over. I've been in to see the urologist again this morning. She's put me on a different medication, so hopefully it'll stop turning me into a bloody zombie all the time. But I think I'm going to have the rest of the afternoon off, and then I'll get into making this up tomorrow to try and get all this done. So get that drilled and pinned. And I'm thinking I might use a piece of this to make a little bracket up that will allow me to fit this up just in here, like this, just in there somewhere. Not too close to this because I don't want it getting all hot, maybe out here somewhere. But anyway, that's where I'm at. Alrighty, so I spent most of yesterday machining this bit here up. The way it works is it is pinned, the pin for the conrod, the big end so to speak, is here at the right angle at, what was it, 15 degrees before bottom dead centre. The original design had a piece machined out of here to put another bolt down in there. So I couldn't be bothered doing that, so I've drilled it and bolted it through there. It's only got to hold this piece in place basically. But it's bolted down there to keep it all down. Now that can still turn there like that at the moment, but once I do up this G-clamp on here, that's not going anywhere. So we'll get it all, I'll get the mill cleaned off because there's swarf everywhere over there from where I milled all this up, and I'll get this thing set up and drill it down through. It's supposed to have 2 pins in it, but I don't know, it really needs it. But I'll see how I go. I might do this one first because that way I'll get down through that gear, the flywheel and the shaft. So pin all of that together because that gear's only been held in here with Loctite at the moment. So we'll do that one first, see how well that goes, and then maybe I'll do the other side. Alrighty, so following Matty from Matty's Workshop lead, once again, I've set up a dial gauge on here, well, you know, whatever you call these bloody things, on the exhaust lever, because it has to be set so that it's just about to open. So there it is there, just about to open. I didn't move it. Yeah, there, lock this up. Now there's not a lot of room in here for this damn thing. Now, I certainly don't have a spotting drill or anything I can get down in that area there. It's long enough. But I do have this 4mm long end mill. Well, this is the new one I bought after I broke it a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to bring it right over here. Got a bit of masking tape on there so hopefully I don't mark it. Now the drill I'm going to use is 1/8, and I haven't been able to get a 1/8 roll pin, so I don't know. I've measured, I've got 2 3mm ones, but I don't know what they actually measure. But I'm going to put a flat on here and give me somewhere to try and start this 1/8 drill without a spotting drill or anything. So let's go. Alrighty, now I zeroed out this over here on the back end of the shaft with the centre finder. Fit up this 1/8 drill. Get it up in there as far as I can get the damn thing. Because this is 100mm long, this drill. Leave myself enough room to get all the way through. I'm going to move my LED floodlight over and sit on top of the lathe, see if we can't light this up a bit more. That looks better. Alright, now can we get this thing started without it wandering all over the friggin' place? It's way out near the edge, it's skated out a bit. I might have to give it another hit with the end mill and then try it again. I'll come back to you. Alrighty, so after recutting that, it just kept wanting to skate away all the time. So I got in there with a little fine transfer punch. Punched it, but it's not quite in the middle, so it's going to have to do, I think. We'll see how we go. Alrighty, like I said, that ain't in the middle. Alrighty, so this is the 3mm roll pin. I haven't measured it, so I don't really know what size it is. Well, it's 3/9, so I might actually do alright if it didn't cut too oversized. No, it's only sort of finger tight, but if I Loctite that in there, it might be okay. I'll leave it at that. I mean, that was so much trouble, I don't know, I want to drill the other side, and I don't really see how it's necessary, to be honest with you. Can't imagine this engine having enough power to shear that thing off. But anyway, it's shopping day today, so I'll take she who must be bad shopping, and I'll have a think about it while I'm standing around and wait for her down there. Alrighty, so I decided I was going to drill that. I haven't actually knocked that pin in there yet, I need to clean that hole out. But what I want to do is get these valves and everything fixed onto here with some of this former gasket sealant, slow drying, non-hardening. because I'm not going to make gaskets for it. I probably should have put some in behind here, but I really don't think that's going to leak. So how I'm going to go about this is just a cotton tip, get a bit on there, not too much, and just smear some on this face here. Don't want to block up any of these bloody holes in here. There we go. Just 2 pots fit that. Smear some on this bottom face. Bloody what a waste, that giant tube. There's a little tiny bit I'll use on here. What a joke. That's life. It's the only one I could find and supply. Lift them slightly, tighten these 2, and then tighten these 4. I'm still not sure whether this is going to be too heavy, but we'll find out once this stuff is dried. Alrighty, so I'm going to allow that to set. Well shit, that's a worry. I should have compression there, but bloody nothing. What's going on there? Why do I have no compression? I should have compression. Let's start about there. There's none. Zero bloody compression. What's going on there? Something else I did while you guys weren't looking was I machined up this so I can use it to crank start it. And while I had it set up in there before, I milled a little flat on the shaft, so I clamped that screw down on it. It's just got, good God, I hope I'm not going to have to make a new piston. Oh well, it's iced coffee o'clock. I'm going to go and grab an iced coffee and then maybe sit down and think about this a bit. Yeah, that's a worry. I'm not sure why I've got no bloody compression. Should have heaps. That's like that was a real effort to push that piston in there with that O-ring on it. That's a real worry. Now, like I said, I'm going to go buy myself an iced coffee and ponder that one. Well, this got me completely stumped. While I was editing that bit of video, I suddenly thought, oh, I know what's going on here. It's, you know, for it to have compression, it needs to suck some air in. And if this spring's too heavy, it's not opening the valve, it's not sucking the air in. Can't compress nothing. And I just come out and looking at it, and I thought, what's going on here? The exhaust valve was opening about sort of halfway out the like the firing stroke, and not as it came back up. Well, still not. Anyway, I do it as this, just opening there, right? But when I had a closer look, the bloody thing was down here as it was opening. So how that came to be is beyond me, because you saw it all set up in the mill with this thing over here holding it all in place. How the hell did that happen? It's out 180 degrees. And I'm just stumped. I just don't know how that happened. It's just got me completely stumped. And that's opening properly there, and what I've done is I've took the pin out, rotated 180, and you can't knock it all the way through because it don't line up. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. You can't see the bloody hole there. It didn't go all, you know, so off centre. But that's about where it was. It was about there and not there when the thing opened, or started opening. So I'm just completely baffled. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, and I won't bother videoing any of it, I'm going to make a new piston. I'm going to put 2 O-ring grooves in the bloody thing. And if that doesn't fix it, I'll make a new spring out of some of that guitar wire, something really light, and drill and pin this side here. Not that I really want to, but anyway, I'm going to have to, because I can't knock that pin all the way in there. I've got it knocked in as far as I can now. I had trouble getting it back out again, to be honest. Anyway, that's where I'm at. At this point in the video, I'd like to thank my patrons. Their continued support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. If you don't want to be a regular contributor, there's always buy me a coffee. Now, let's get back to the build. Alrighty, after thinking about it for a little bit, this video's dragging on a bit, and I don't want it to drag on too much longer, so I've decided that I'm going to call this episode to a halt. I was hoping to make this the last episode of this build, but it could drag on for another 2 or 3 days yet, so until I get this finished and running. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me make everything in this episode, and if you did, make sure you give it a great big thumbs up and smash that like button, because you kind of know how it helps me out. But anyway, we'll call it a wrap, and I'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.